Hey guys, it's Nickfamus here, and today I have an exciting Dead by Daylight topic video. But just on a quick side note, if I sound sick, it's because I just tested positive for COVID-19 the other day. I'm feeling fine, just a bit stuffy, and I still wanted to record this video since I'm just sitting around at home off from work all week anyway. It's been pretty awesome to see some video game inclusion in Dead by Daylight lately, with chapters like Silent Hill, and even 2 Resident Evil chapters. I really hope Behavior Interactive continues this trend and brings more awesome horror game licenses to Dead by Daylight.
No, not you, Seamus.
I always love seeing what they can do with guest characters in-game, and there's plenty of amazing horror games out there to choose from. This video is just going to be me discussing characters and licenses that I'd like to see most, and that I also think have a good chance at being added to the game someday. So to start off my list, I have The Evil Within, and I'll be honest, I haven't finished the Evil Within games yet, so I don't know a whole lot about them, but from what I have played, I know it's a pretty intense, gritty horror game series, with character designs perfect for Dead by Daylight. Here's a pretty badass killer concept I found online for this Safehead character, and the main character you control in-game, Detective Sebastian, could be the survivor in the pack. I'd just like to see The Evil Within in Dead by Daylight. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, there's already 2 Resident Evil chapters in Dead by Daylight. I highly doubt that they would ever do a 3rd chapter, but if they were going to, I would love to see them add characters from the newer games like Resident Evil 7 or Village. I think it would be pretty cool to see the likes of Ethan Winters and Lady Dimitrescu. I probably said that wrong. Big tall vampire lady. I think she'd be a cool killer. But I doubt it'll happen, but nice to dream. And now to get this out of the way, I have seen a bit of talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I just want to say, no. I know it's a modern horror game that was very popular, but come on, it's pretty cringe. I don't want that garbage associated with DBD. I don't think most DBD fans really want them. It's a low-effort horror game at best. Seriously, how are those big clunky animatronics gonna chase after you all game? It's just stupid. Slender Man is kind of in the same vein as Five Nights at Freddy's for me. A bit too cheesy and low effort, although again very popular and mentioned in the community a lot. I'll admit I could see Slender Man working as a killer better than anybody from Five Nights at Freddy's, but he doesn't really do anything special for kills or anything interesting that I could see Behavior fleshing out. I personally just don't see a point of adding him. But we did get the girl from the Ring movies, so I never thought we would get that, so never say never, I guess. Left 4 Dead is a different case than most games, as Bill is a character from that franchise and is already a survivor in Dead by Daylight. He was added in March 2017, which at the time of filming this video is over 5 years ago. But I always did find it weird we only got 1 character and no more Left 4 Dead content. So who knows if we could ever see Behavior Interactive explore more Left 4 Dead content, give us some special zombie killers, or maybe even a map. I think it deserves it. Okay, and Until Dawn is probably the horror game I want to collaborate with Dead by Daylight the most. It's probably my favorite horror game to ever exist. It's so much fun, has a lot of replay value, and there's a large selection of characters they could choose from. I'd love to see Mike and Sam as survivors, and obviously the Wendigo as the killer, and then they could just add a bunch of legendary skins for the other teens from Until Dawn. I'd be interested to see how Behavior Interactive would make the Wendigo play, to make sure that it's not the same as the Demogorgon, for example. But I think that they could make it really different if they tried. A winter cabin map would be pretty cool, but we do already have one like that in Dead by Daylight with Ormond Resort. So maybe they could just revamp that map and add some assets from Until Dawn as sort of a compromise. Dead Space is another one of my favorite horror games ever. Another perfect example of gritty video game horror that needs to be added to Dead by Daylight. Obviously, Isaac Clarke would be the survivor. Who cares if he's wearing space armor? It's a fucking video game. I think we could get a cool map from inside a spaceship out in outer space. And they could go a generic route with the killer and just use like a necromorph, but I think it would be way more interesting to use the boss from Dead Space 2, Isaac's undead hallucination girlfriend, Nicole. She could have some cool stuff, even summon some little monsters to help out against survivors. Her power could involve the marker. And if this isn't her Mori animation, then don't even bother. With the Dead Space remake coming out soon, I could see the hype making this collaboration happen. Okay, and I mean, there's lots of horror games that I could go on about that I'd love to see added to Dead by Daylight, but those are just a few of the ones I thought were worth mentioning. I love DBD. It's so cool to see such a big collaboration with all these horror icons growing bigger and bigger by the years. So I can't wait to see what content is in store for us next. And I'm just hoping that we get some more video game representation. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, this has been Nickfamous. See you later.
Let's see how he likes a Kamehameha!